Hello. Welcome back to Cooking with Julie. I still don't really have a title for myself. My son kind of suggested, like, just Cooking with Julie. I kind of like to incorporate, like, my 4 sons in there somehow. So any suggestions, let me know. A couple things. So today I'm going to do a marinade. This marinade can be used for chicken or steak. It's a little bit different, so I'll walk you through that. I am starting today with, I took my steak out, thawed it. Once it was thawed, I threw it in the fridge right away. Let it sit there and keep it cold. My older son went and worked, I can't even remember where, because he's all over the map. But he went to go work, and he found a really, really, really good butcher. So he got a hold of his dad, and he said, "Do you and Mom want some steaks?" Like, the guy will literally pre-wrap them individually. They're about $10 a steak, and he will freeze them ahead of time. So when I come home, like he was hours away, they're going to stay frozen. He's going to pack them in a box, blah, blah, blah. So we were like, yeah, it's barbecuing season. So this is the steak that he got us. That's probably backwards for you guys, maybe not, I don't know. New York strip grilling steak. I'm telling you, they're amazing. My husband and I have already had these one time. He usually has like a steak, for supper, and I usually have half. That's like more than enough for me. Sometimes I can't even finish that much, but here's what they are. They're huge. I mean, they're a massive steak. They're ginormous, right? I also do have thawing over here, because I forgot to take them out, but just a couple pieces of chicken. My son's girlfriend, one of my other sons, only have one son left at home. His girlfriend lives with us. She eats red meat, but she prefers chicken over steak. So whenever she's around, for our supper, she's got different shift work and stuff, so I'll ask her if she's home, and she said she'd be here, so I'll make a couple chicken breasts for her. Even she can take them to work or whatever. The one thing I do, I don't mind cooking, I guess, but I don't want to cook every day. I feel like that's just too much time in the kitchen. So I normally always try to like today's a Monday, I'm going to make today enough steak and barbecue for today and tomorrow, and then Wednesday I'll cook a meal for that day and the next day. So I always try to double for you moms or dads out there, or whoever happens to be cooking, double your recipe. Make a bigger thing of lasagna or spaghetti or whatever. That's just a little suggestion. Okay, I'm going to get right into this. So this I purchased from Amazon. I think it was like 12 bucks or something. Like, such a good deal. When you press on it, these little poke things come out. You probably can't really see, but there are little holes in there. So once you make your marinade, so this has parsley in it, so I would actually have to throw it in my blender and then blend the heck, it's got to be no chunks, super, super smooth, you know what I mean? And then you can squeeze, and then you can inject your steak at the same time. I don't do that. I mean, you totally could. But what I do is, I got my steaks in here. I just kind of go over them, give them a good smack, with the little needles all through it. I don't have a fork, but my hands are clean, so I don't tip these over. I just do both sides. And once, probably a couple hours still, once the chicken thaws, I'll wash this off and do the same thing with the chicken. It's just, I can't even explain the difference. It's amazing. Every bite you take has such tremendous flavor inside. I'm going to wash my hands really quick. Okay, we have our steaks ready to go. I will just set those, maybe I'll get them out of your way, set them over here. Okay, so what I normally do, just for a little suggestion too, is I gather all of my ingredients. I look at the recipe. I get everything out from the pantry, drawers, cupboards, wherever stuff is. I try to line it up on the cupboard. You know, my measuring, whatever measuring spoons I need, measuring cups. And then literally I just, instead of going back and forth, you can do whatever you prefer. I just find that really helps. Now, I mean, we used to be a family of 6, you know, so this recipe would definitely be great for us. I don't need a whole lot of marinade. I have in the past made and then, you know, put some in a jar and just left it in the fridge. You could do that for sure, but today I'm going to half my recipe, okay? I am going to post the whole recipe for you, so if you have a smaller amount in your home, you can just make it and, like I said, use the amount you need and then put the rest in the fridge. It does last for a few weeks for sure, so if it's barbecuing season, you're going to do chicken or steak or whatever, you're totally okay to do that. So today I'm just going to half it though. So we need 3/4 cup of oil. I'm just going to put all my wet in the same container, less dishes. Although I will say I'm a dishwasher freak, like literally. I have gotten to the point in age where, you know, I just really don't want to stand in front of the sink. I don't want to waste my time doing dishes, and I don't. So, some people might consider this lazy, I'm not sure, but I put as much in my dishwasher. I'm talking like pots, like if we make potatoes and, you know, like carrots and whatever, and I make, you know, those pots, I will like put them in the dishwasher. It's, you load it in like 2 minutes, done, versus, you know, the 10 or 20 it takes to cycle the washing and the drying and the putting away, and, you know, anyhow. That's just over the years I've realized. You know, I don't have time for that. So I did in here 3/4 cup of oil, vegetable oil, is what it calls for. It calls for 3/4 cup of soy sauce. So I finished my 1 container in here. So that's like 1/4 cup plus 1/8 of a cup. So I'm just gonna like put this in here until we get to the point when we're at that line. Sometimes it can be tricky when you divide a recipe, but, and I mean ideally it doesn't have to be like super fickle either. Next is Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to do 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. Perfect. And then I'm going to do 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. Red wine vinegar. This is a very, very, very good marinade. I mean, we have definitely bought marinades before. We just went on holidays to BC, and of course, yeah, you know, to buy all these ingredients, you know, for one time made no sense. So we have definitely done that before. Now, the recipe calls for 1/3 cup. I only need half of that. So I kind of did look at my measuring cup, and I found like the 1/3 cup, and halfway between I drew just a little kind of pen mark on there, because like it'll wash off. I'm not worried. So there's half of the 1/3 cup. There we go. Now we are done with the wet stuff for now. Now it's just to give that a little stir. It is going to separate because there's oil in there and stuff. So just, you know, give a little stir and you're all good. Okay, now comes our measuring spoons. So I'm just going to see if I have, nope, this is not open. I don't know if anybody's ever used or had dry mustard before. I make a meatball recipe with dry mustard. It's amazing. It's incredible. I will give you that in the future. So we need a tablespoon of dry mustard. So good. Half a teaspoon of salt. I have my half right here. Perfect. Half a tablespoon of pepper. And these measuring spoons that I have come with a half a tablespoon. Telling you, best measuring spoons I ever have. I'm going to do a little less. I'm not a pepper person. If things are like overly spicy, I just don't enjoy them at all. So, and then 3/4 of a teaspoon of parsley. I can link, and I will link, the meat tenderizer down below. And then these measuring spoons again. I don't know if you just want me to keep linking these every time. I don't know. I'm just saying they're amazing, and I want you guys to like try them out. Okay. So this is it. This is the recipe. It's done. Like, you know. So I don't know if you can see. I'll even look on here. 1.5 cups that means. So if you were to double it, you'd have 3 cups of marinade, right? So now this, what I just did, is for the chicken, right? So this is for the chicken. So I'm just going to, let's see if I need, no, I don't need this. So I'm just going to dump maybe like 1/2 cup in there. Perfect, okay. I'm going to set this aside for the chicken when it's ready. And now for the steak, you add in, I have golden Italian. You could use zesty Italian. The recipe just calls for Italian. It doesn't really specify, you know, now they come up with so many different brands and whatever. So this is golden Italian. I have zesty Italian in the fridge, but I was like, whatever, I'll just use this. It asks for 1/2 bottle, you know, which there's a little less than 1/2 bottle in here. I did take a little bit of out, plus I'm halving the recipe, so I'm just going to put a little squeeze in here, just, you know, mostly for that flavor. And then liquid smoke. I don't know if you've ever had this before. This is used for, like, we put this also in, I eat beet borscht, delicious. And I also put it in, beef jerky recipe as well. Very, very good, right? So again, I need my half a tablespoon. It calls for 1, I believe. Yes, it calls for 1, yeah, so we need 1/2. Stir that around again. And this is the steak one. So I'm literally just going to like pour this directly on top. Yeah, see, even that's like more than enough. Like that's a lot of marinade for a few steaks, but you know, oh well. I'm just going to lift them up so that way a little bit can go underneath, a little bit can go on top. Yeah, make sure we get it all the way through. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the fridge for the rest of the day till I'm ready for it. Chicken is ready, same thing. I will use the tenderizer on it, and then I'll pour the marinade on it, put it in the fridge, let it sit there again for the rest of the day. I will come back later and just show you some tips and tricks, I guess, on barbecuing. Some people have never barbecued before, and maybe they're looking for little ideas and stuff like that. So I have some good ideas that I've learned over the years. It's all trial and error. Never went to school for it, and it's just literally kind of like my kids have been and my husband have been my critics of try it this way or maybe do it different or whatever. So we've kind of all worked at this together. So I will come back once I have the next tin foil and everything set out, and I will give you some ideas there. Okay? Thank you. Bye.